What's going on, guys? Today we will be building an enclosure for a new animal in the collection, a desert hairy scorpion, also called Hadrurus arizonensis. These are lovely little scorpions, a great beginner species, and they are venomous. So this is a disclaimer. Please do not try to recreate anything you see in this video unless you do sufficient research. Though this species is good for beginners, they are venomous, and the venom can cause allergic reactions in some people. Thank you. Now, for the actual enclosure, we will be putting it together with the ZoomEd Cavern Kit with excavator clay. This is a great kit. I've seen this recommended quite a lot, and it will be good to get this in and put together for this little friend of ours. The enclosure itself will be put together with a 5-gallon tank. Now we will be going in and seeing what's all in the kit. First, it comes with this tube for building tunnels, a shovel for moving the clay around, and these, which look like a certain contraceptive, but those are balloons and associated tools to put the small caves inside. Now we're going to open this up and mix it together. You need to use a certain amount of water for the amount of clay they provide. The instructions call for 3 cups. I used that amount, and I used a little more than what it called for, simply because it did not seem to be sticking together well, even with how much I used. So just use the amount and try not to use any more water than what they call for, but I did use a tiny bit more, just a small disclaimer there. The clay itself was actually fairly difficult for me to mix. I think that's because they gave me a little more clay than what they typically do. That would be my hypothesis. So I did have to add a little more extra water, like I said. But overall, it wasn't terrible, and it gave me enough workable clay to use. Now we can go ahead and begin putting down the bed of the enclosure. I put down a solid layer of clay on the bottom so that there's a layer that the animal can't dig down through. So scorpions can chip away at excavator clay slowly over time. Off camera, I assembled the balloon and the tube and set them where I wanted them. You'll see a bit better later. And then I began covering them with clay. The tube and the balloon will help hold up a small cavern for the animal to go into should it wish. After drying for a few days, it is now time to pop the balloon and remove it, and to carefully remove the tube as well. Only a small piece of the cave chipped off the top, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It seems fairly sturdy. Now it's time to mix up some substrate for the enclosure. I'm using Zilla Jungle Mix as a small additive. Primarily, we will be using sand. So we're going to mix all of that together, as well as add in a little bit of dry excavator clay. I also tossed a few small handfuls of sand down into the primary burrow. Now we can add in the decor. I will be adding in first a small water dish that's fairly shallow so that the little scorpion doesn't drown. I'll also be adding in a few pieces of cholla wood. I'll also be adding in a crocodile skull. Overall, it is a very nice enclosure. I do like it. I did fill up the water dish off camera, but now I think it is time to add in a couple finishing touches, in the case of some sand just scattered throughout the enclosure, and then it will be time to move in our new little friend. Now that she's moved in, thank you all so much for watching, and I have decided to name her Phoenix. If you'd like to see more videos about Phoenix, please drop a like down below, and I will see you all next time.